When it comes to cast iron, there's a lot of facts and some fiction. Some opinions are very valid, but others are based on century-old information that's no longer applicable. As a new owner, it can get quite confusing. In this video, I'll go over the general do's and don'ts of cast iron, and hopefully help you get started with your new pan. Let's dive in. Okay, so first off, congratulations to all of you out there that have decided to invest in a cast iron skillet. This video is going to be a general overview, some do's and don'ts to cast iron. Now, I know some of you have had really good luck out there and you've done things that are outliers. For example, someone messaged me and said that they soak their cast iron skillet in their kitchen sink on a daily, nightly basis, and they've never experienced rust. That's an outlier. These are going to be general overviews to guide you in your cooking journey. So let's get started. Okay, so let's start off with the first one. Do season your brand new cast iron skillet, even if it came pre-seasoned from the factory. Seasoning your skillet 1 or even 2 more times with your preferred method will help get a really good foundation for that seasoning and will just improve on your cooking experience. Now, I think you should just season it 1 or 2 more times and then get going, start cooking, and really enjoy your pan. But I would definitely go ahead and season your brand new cast iron skillet 1 or 2 more times. Okay, the next one is, do use your new cast iron skillet. I know that sounds really obvious, but I think a lot of people get really caught up in the seasoning process. I have friends that are new cast iron skillet or new cast iron cookware owners, and they get way too caught up in seasoning their skillet and then doing an egg test for that perfect nonstick capability and then season it again. There's friends of mine that have owned their skillets for months, and I'll ask them like, hey, what have you cooked on it, or how do you like it? And it's like, well, I'm still in the seasoning process. I'm on my 5th seasoning, but I should be getting there real soon, and then I'll be able to test out the skillet. Don't do that. Don't get caught up in the seasoning process. Season it 1 or 2 more times, after you've initially gotten it, but use it. The more that you use it, the better and more nonstick it's going to get, and the better you're going to get, because you're going to get to know your pan and you're going to enjoy it more, and you're going to have great cooks, great meals with it. So use it. Don't be afraid to use it. Don't look for that perfect nonstick capability. That's going to come down the road. It's going to come naturally. Use your pan and enjoy it. Okay, now here's another weird one. I don't know where this myth came from, but do use your brand new pan in the oven. Using your pan in the oven or baking with it is not going to hurt your cast iron skillet. Actually, it might even make it better. But yeah, I'm not sure where this myth came from that you can't use a brand new cast iron pan in the oven. As long as you're not cooking acidic foods, you should be just fine. So don't be afraid to bake some bread with it or cook a steak and finish it in the oven or so forth. And really, there's no break-in period for cast iron skillets in the oven. So definitely use your pan in the oven. It should not hurt it at all. Which actually brings me to my next one. Do cook acidic foods lightly. Okay, if you're going to be doing an acidic dish like sauteing some tomatoes or, something that's quick on top of your stovetop for 10 minutes or so, you're okay. As long as you've developed a good seasoning, good foundation, you should not strip your seasoning. Now, if you're doing something heavily acidic for a long duration of time, you should be worried. But it's okay to cook light acidic dishes. Now, I would approximate around 6 to 9 months before you develop a good foundation for your seasoning to actually cook light acidic foods. If it's a brand new pan, I would wait for that foundation, that good seasoning foundation, before you try to attempt to cook light acidic dishes for a very quick duration of time. I would just never cook heavily acidic dishes for a long duration of time, no matter how well your cast iron pan has been seasoned, because you are risking stripping that seasoning. But light acidic dishes are okay from time to time if your seasoning is really good. Okay, the next big one is washing your cast iron with soap. Do wash your cast iron with soap. That's okay. This myth actually originated from decades ago when soap was really harsh. It had lye in it and vinegar, and it actually stripped the seasoning. Now remember, seasoning is not a thin layer of oil that's stuck to your pan. That oil has actually become a polymer. Back in the day, decades ago, the soap was so good at removing that. It was harsh with vinegar and lye. It actually stripped the seasoning. But today's soap is actually very gentle. So it's okay to wash your cast iron with soap. Just don't go crazy. Go light. Do what you need to do to disinfect and clean it, and then always put it back on the stovetop and dry it completely. You want to evaporate all that moisture to avoid rust. But it's okay to use soap with your cast iron skillet. That brings me to my next one. Don't soak your cast iron. Never soak it overnight in the kitchen sink. You're just asking for rust. Water, moisture, and cast iron do not mix. Avoid that. You want to make sure your cast iron's always dry. I always heat it up by putting it back on the stovetop and making sure all of that moisture and water has completely evaporated. So don't ever soak your cast iron. It's just asking for trouble. I've already touched up on this, but don't cook heavily acidic foods for long durations of time. It will strip your seasoning. Unfortunately, it's just the nature of the game. If you're going to cook heavily acidic foods, use a stainless steel skillet. Cast iron and carbon steel, the seasoning just does not play well with acidic foods at long durations of time. And the last one is, don't be closed-minded. You may love cast iron, and I agree with you, cast iron is fantastic, but you may also want to try carbon steel, which is literally cast iron version 2.0. Or you might have a taste for stainless steel. If you're using a cast iron pan, chances are you really love cooking. And all I'm saying is everything has its place in the kitchen. And I think if you're really serious about cooking, you're probably going to try the big three: cast iron, carbon steel, and stainless steel. So don't have a closed mind, be open, and enjoy yourself. Don't get so caught up in the tool, but enjoy the journey and the learning experience. There's a lot of great things out there. Congratulations on your new pan, and I hope this general video on the do's and don'ts of cast iron will help navigate you through your cooking journey. That's it for me, guys. I hope you found this video informative. Check out some of my other videos, and I will catch you on the next one. Take care, everybody. Hey everybody, I really hope you enjoyed that video. Please support the channel by liking, subscribing, and sharing with your family and friends. Follow us on social media and check out our new merchandise store. And above all, thank you for supporting this channel, and thank you for watching.